I think this ad is hot f***ing garbage.
Yo, that was crazy.
Welcome to Political Experts React, where we break down political ads and media, explain what the people behind them are trying to accomplish, and decide whether or not they did a good job. I'm Dan Pfeiffer, former communications director for Barack Obama. Joining me today is Tanya Somanader, former director of digital rapid response to the Obama White House and chief content officer for Crypto Media. Tanya, welcome to Political Experts React. I would just note that you are Elijah and Ben's boss, and they've been acting like it. Their shit has been tight all day. So we are very glad to have you.
Oh my God, I can't wait to make incredible decisions that will impact their careers for years to come.
Yeah, yes. They know you track those YouTube channel subscription numbers very, very closely.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's get to work. The first ad we're going to watch is from the Democratic super PAC, Meidas Touch.
Listen, everything's gonna be okay, right? Just let me do the talking, okay? Just
Evening, ladies. License, please. Where are you headed?
Oh, we were just out for a drive.
Headed to the border?
Oh, no. We were just going up to the
Hey there. What's your name?
Grace.
Are you pregnant, Grace? Step out of the vehicle.
She does not have to.
Yes, she does.
No.
Show me your hands on the wheels, please. Grace, step out of the vehicle. On the wheel.
Grace, it's okay.
When Elijah and Ben suggested this ad, I knew we had to have you on as a guest because I really wanted to get your take on this piece of digital content.
Digital content. When I was watching this ad, I had this huge flashback to 2011 and 2012 when that ad for Paul Ryan pushing a granny off a cliff was going around. Dan, I know you remember this ad. It was like...
Of course I do.
It was the back of Paul Ryan, and he was pushing this grandma, and she went straight off a cliff because he was going to take away her Medicare. And everybody was like, this is ridiculous. I had the same kind of reaction to the content of this ad. I mean, it's laughable, but then you stop yourself and you say, that was ridiculous. But what is really happening with these bills? But the question will always remain, who is this getting in front of? Who's being targeted with this? Is this suburban white women would be my guess? And will this work with them? Where is this ad being placed? If it's just online, that's not enough. But in terms of the content itself, I mean, yo, that was crazy. But I think it would make everybody ask, that's nuts, is it? And that's kind of what you want. That's the conversation that you're hoping to spark if you're putting something out. What do you think?
A couple things about it. One, this is actually the world that some Republican legislators want. There have been discussions amongst Republican legislators who have speculated about ways in which they can make it illegal to leave the state to get an abortion in a state where it remains legal. Now, there are a lot of constitutional questions about whether you can actually do that, but this is the world they want. For all of the discussion of the Democrats are going overboard with a Handmaid's Tale and who read the book or watched the Hulu series, all of that, the fact of the matter is what is being talked about in this ad is at least the America that some Republicans want. And that is an argument against putting the Republicans in power.
It forces people to reckon with any kind of complacence they might want to have around the issue. Somebody might say, that's ridiculous. And somebody else in the household might say, well, I read that in Oklahoma, it is actually this. And you're starting a conversation. Now, this ad, do we know if it's going to play out like this? No. But, it might force that conversation. And that's what I think, pushing a grandma off a cliff also does. It's weird. But, I'm not necessarily going to say there's no precedent for its effectiveness.
Elections are about issue salience. Right? If the election is about inflation and whether you're angry at Joe Biden and Democrats, we're screwed. If the election is about who is going to protect your rights, then we have a shot. The other thing is that virality, in my view, requires two sides of the coin. You have to have people who love it, who are going to share it, and then people who hate it, who are going to be pissed about it and interact with it and increase the engagement score. And so I think on all of those metrics, this is a perfect piece of content. No, but it is accomplishing an important thing, which is raising the salience of an issue. And I do like the tagline of Republicans take away your right to choose. Let's take away the right to govern, because what it's trying to do at least is get people who were engaged in 2020, engaged in 2022, which, as you know better than almost anyone else, is quite the challenge these days.
Oh my God, yeah. So if you want to help, you can go to votesafeamerica.com/row and you can sign up for a region to really dig in and make sure that you're taking care of all the people who could potentially be impacted by this decision. So that's votesafeamerica.com/row. Go there now.
The next ad is from Dr. Oz, Republican running for Senate in Pennsylvania.
My father taught me how to handle my first gun. I taught my son Oliver how to do the same. I've been shooting and hunting my whole life. So when people say I won't support guns, they're dead wrong. Boom! Other conservatives know that I'm strong on the Second Amendment. Ted Nugent, Rick Perry, President Trump. But our Second Amendment is not just about hunting. It's about our constitutional right to protect ourselves from intruders or an overly intrusive government. So as your next U.S. Senator, I will fight for our constitutional rights.
Now, because episodes of Political Experts React age like wine, most of you will see this after that primary has been decided, years in the future, like a time capsule of this period. You'll be watching this episode. But there is essentially a three-way tie for first in the Pennsylvania Republican Senate primary. With that said, I think this ad is hot fucking garbage.
I think this ad was Oz trying to be like, I'm a person who's very pro Second Amendment. Don't you see how authentic this is? Look at me in my like cool plaid, and maybe I hit that target, maybe I didn't, but this was edited to make it look like I did. Isn't that awesome? You're a doctor, so like pick issues where your packaging matches. Trump was so good at that. He wore a tie everywhere. Like he just like really sold himself as a businessman, and like Dr. Oz is trying to sell himself as a hunter.
It's stupid. I just think it is incredibly notable that when listing his endorsements to prove his conservative credentials, Dr. Oz lists the host of Celebrity Apprentice, a contestant on Dancing with the Stars, and Ted Nugent. Trump and Dr. Oz are very similar in profile in the sense that they have a deep, long-standing relationship with a certain demographic of television viewers. But Trump did not run a fake ad like this with him shooting guns in 2016 because he knew he would look fucking stupid doing it. Dr. Oz, he looks idiotic. He looks like he's never touched a gun. He looks just incredibly uncomfortable.
To me, it clearly articulates the Trump endorsement issue, which is it's not enough that Trump likes you. You actually have to embody the qualities that people have come to expect from the Trump acolytes. And I don't think Dr. Oz actually does that, even though in this ad, he's trying very, very hard to do that.
Everyone's doing sort of MAGA karaoke in this race, which is why Kathy Barnett may win, because she's the one who can most authentically do that compared to these other two very rich, previously moderate phonies. As much as it pains me to admit it, Elijah and Ben were right. Begging you people to smash that subscribe button week after week has been paying off. So thank you if you have smashed it. If you have not smashed it, please do. And with that in mind, I'm going to ask you a little something differently today. My overlords have graciously given me the opportunity on my own show to talk about my brand new book, Battling the Big Lie, which is about how the Republicans built a massive disinformation and propaganda media machine, how that machine works, where it comes from, who pays for it, and most importantly, what Democrats can do to beat it. Battling the Big Lie comes out on June 7th. And if you pre-order the book, I will be donating a portion of the proceeds to the Texas Library Association's effort to stop book bans in Texas. There is a direct connection between Fox News, Facebook, Ben Shapiro, and the efforts to control what kids read and learn in the classroom. It's all of a piece. So pre-order the book, help stop book bans, smash that pre-order button, if you will. Thank you so much. Okay. The last ad we're going to see is a cut down of a digital announcement piece from J.R. Majewski from your home state of Ohio.
You may remember me as the guy who painted his lawn with the world's largest Trump 2020 campaign logo, which really triggered the left. But I'm not just a Trump supporter who knows how to paint. I'm a veteran, I'm an executive in the nuclear power industry, and I'm an unapologetic patriot and supporter of American energy independence. We are losing our country in every classroom, every county, every police station, every company, and with every illegal vote. Their agenda is bringing America to its knees, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to return this country back to its former glory. And if I gotta kick down doors, well, that's just what patriots do. Patriots, the cowardice ends with us. It's time to restore American dominance. My name is J.R. Majewski, and I absolutely approve this message.
As was hinted at in this ad, J.R. Majewski became kind of sort of MAGA famous for painting a giant Trump logo on his lawn. What do you think of your fellow Ohioan, J.R. Majewski's piece?
Was that Saw 7? Like, where was he? What? It very much reminds me of Dan Crenshaw's ad where he like played an Avenger essentially and was like a superhero, and that was like digital content. Digital content! But turning on lights in an empty, broken down place gives me an idea that America is now dominant again because you turned lights on in this god-awful place and there was no reveal. Big question whether that was effective.
Oftentimes when you're making a piece of content, you're writing something, they say show, don't tell. And this ad is just tell. It's like, I'm going to kick down the door. There's a video of him kicking down the door. I'm going to turn on the lights. He's turning on the lights. It's like the most Captain Obvious thing ever.
That district that this guy is running in, Ohio's 9th, used to be what they used to call the snake on the lake, which is deep blue all along the coast of Lake Erie. They've redistricted it. So now there's a bunch more people who are much more conservative. But I will say, if he pulls it out, that's kind of it. Like that, Ohio is just like, it's been red and then it's just going to be red on a congressional level. And seeing this guy pull it out in the primary really says a lot about what kind of fights we're headed for in the general, I think.
They're running these ads to show their MAGA extreme bona fides. And the question is, can Democrats make them pay for it this fall?
We'll just see how that plays out because in a general, you're going to have a different profile of voters than you do in a primary. And how strong is this extremism? We'll find out.
We'll find out. The secret tagline of Political Experts React. All right, Tanya, thank you for joining us on Political Experts React. Always great to talk to you. Thanks for watching these ads and videos with us. If you have anything you'd like us to break down, let us know in the comments. See you all next time.